Important thing right now
Sure.
when voters are polled about it. Hallie, great to see you as always. Thank you. My friend Hallie Jackson, our Chief White House correspondent. We have 12 days to go, as Hallie says, until the midterm elections. President Trump has basically asked Americans to forget the last 8 years of the health care debate. The president tweeted, quote, "Republicans will totally protect people with pre-existing conditions. Democrats will not. Vote Republican." That would be a lie. Hashtag lie alert. Protecting people with pre-existing conditions is a central tenet of Obamacare, except dismantling Obamacare has been a central tenet for both President Trump and the GOP. Republicans in Congress have voted 70 times, to repeal protections for people with pre-existing conditions that were created by Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act, same thing, the law passed by Democrats. When those attempts failed, Republicans tried to pass their own health care law that would have gutted those provisions. Then Donald Trump's own administration argued in court that Obamacare's pre-existing condition protections are unconstitutional. And just this week, the administration announced a policy making it easier for states to allow plans with fewer pre-existing protections. The president's claim is totally at odds with what Republicans have done over the past 8 years. But this is more than your typical Trump lie, because it's not just Donald Trump making this argument. Republicans running in the midterms are making it as well.
Everyone agrees we're going to protect pre-existing conditions.
In Wisconsin, pre-existing conditions are covered. And as long as I'm governor, they always will be.
I'm Josh Hawley. I support forcing insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions.
I support forcing insurance companies to cover pre-existing conditions.
Here's the truth. Kevin Cramer voted for guaranteed coverage for pre-existing conditions.
I want the voters to know I'm committed to protecting people with pre-existing conditions. I'm fighting for it. I fought for it, and I voted for it.
Yeah, except that every single one of those Republican candidates has tried to weaken protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Remember, does anybody remember back before Obamacare, if you didn't work for a company like this one, which offers really good health care, and you weren't on COBRA or you couldn't afford COBRA, and you had a pre-existing condition, there was no insurance for you. I suppose you could always buy some insurance, but it would be more expensive than your health care. This is the only major country, the only developed country in the world in which personal bankruptcy is caused by health care concerns, by health care spending issues. By now, every one of those Republicans you just saw is running in a close election, and they are realizing that voters actually like Obamacare. Check it out. Obamacare is the most popular item in the latest Fox News poll. The law has more favorability than the Republican Party does, and much more than the GOP tax. Voters also choose health care as their most important issue, according to a new poll out from the Kaiser Family Foundation, by a lot, by the way. See where health care is compared to everything else. And that same poll shows that voters, by a 2-to-1 margin, trust Democrats to protect health care coverage for pre-existing conditions than they do Republicans. 26% of people think that Republicans are going to protect pre-existing conditions. I don't even know how the number's that big. I guess about 23% of people believe that Barack Obama is a Kenyan-born Muslim, so it's only 3% more than that. And I guess about 23% of people believe in UFOs, so it's just 3% more than that. 26% of people believe Republicans who ran for 8 years on eliminating pre-existing conditions think the Democrats would do a better job, Republicans would do a better job than Democrats in keeping it. Last night in Wisconsin, the president, who campaigned on terminating all of Obamacare, made this statement.
Republicans will always protect, as Leah said, Americans with pre-existing conditions, 100%. 100%.
All right. You're watching Velshi.